Okay, so I guess what I want to know is this thing on? I do. What I really want to know is, how does one dance their whole life?
You know, how could I ever regret that I did something I adored beyond all measure and could only do 24/7? And when I wasn't dancing in the theater, I was watching other people dancing in the theater.
I signed up for something called modern dance with someone named Alkire. And from the first week, I was in love with it.
They asked me to come back to do the dance emphasis program. That's how it began. And then I knew I was on my way.
You can never tell what a legacy will be. A legacy is what the current generation adopts. Ohio State would take a look at anybody and see if they were dancers, and then see where the dancing went. Who said it isn't possible? Let's try it. Who said one can't lift three? Who said a woman can't lift a man? Let's give them a chance. That's a moral heritage from the people I trained with and knew over 40 years.
She paid attention to all of us. You know, she paid attention to every student.
Well, when I was thinking about putting a department together, and I had nurse, I guess it was in Connecticut early on, and we were talking, and I said, where do I begin? I said, how do I do this? And he said, well, you just begin. That was the best advice I ever had.
I believe Helen was hired in the early 40s. By the time I got to school, dance became a major area. You could major in dance within physical education. And I benefited from her very visionary ideas about the role of dance in higher education.
I watched Helen building a university support system. There wasn't even a dance degree. It was a physical education degree with a concentration in dance. But it was all being invented.
It was a big thing about coming from Columbus and being introduced fully to the world of dance through Helen and Vicki.
I had Vicki Blaine from my composition class, which I will never forget. I still have my composition notebook. That, along with all the dance history classes, really, I think, prepared me well.
We do a very broad-based education in our technique classes for the undergraduates. We're not a conservatory. We don't teach one specific style of movement. So when I go and I see our students at the Bates Dance Festival, for example, they are all over that festival. And it's very obvious to me that we're doing the right thing.
We were equipped to run a dance program, a dance department, whatever you need to know about dance, we had it all.
I thought I could go to New York.
We were given this confidence, just like, you can do it. You put that in us.
I just think about the wonderful classes, the wonderful inspiration you were, the world you opened up to me, modern dance world, the art world, and it's hard not to be emotional when I talk to you about it because it changed my life.
There's a legacy here of a new, a new wave, or a breath of something else. And that came, Helen, I remember when I was an undergraduate, that there was always, you got to see who's doing not the ordinary, but who's breaking away from the tradition.
I think our visiting artist program supported that.
We're talking about a 50-year-old tradition in this department of making sure that the connections are there.
Then we have to look into all this is happening with technology and how it's impacting on the field of documentation and notation.
New innovations just kept coming because of all this technical
Yeah,
business.
no, but you picked them up. I mean,
And applied
nobody
them
else
to
picked them up.
the location, yes.
Played around with them.
And I'm very proud that some of our students are able to use their technology skills and have kind of higher level careers.
When a person graduates from here, they have options. It's not just that they can step, kick, but they have options.
Our students learn about themselves in relation to the world, and therefore it's a good education. They're building civilization. They're building, lives.
I learned things I didn't know. I was constantly being challenged by what I was learning.
I got more of a theoretical and historical perspective on what it is that I did or where I came from in dance, and went on from there.
To just expect to be able to do what it was we wanted to do.
And it never occurred to me I couldn't do it.
Yes, right.
It never occurred to me that I couldn't do it.
Now, because of the way you built the curriculum, you built it in that holistic way that I think was so unique.
And it was smart.
It was so smart.
For the university, I mean, it was like, that's what the university is about.
Yes.
So I really, really appreciated being here and soaking all that up and producing my work and having all this space to work in, all these dancers to work with.
You said the university is a perfect environment
Yeah.
because we had all the resources
Right.
to develop an artist.
It seems to me that you had a broader vision about how you develop an artist than many of your contemporaries around the country at that time. Was that true?
It could be, because they used to call me a maverick.